sick day tomorrow until my test results come back.
I feel that. I got the hair flip.
Did you what?
I got the hair flip. You did a hair flip when you were telling me about you have to take a day tomorrow, and that's exactly when it started. In the first frame was just you going flip.
Oh, I can't do that. I actually got made myself dizzy just.
You gotta calm it down. I'm gonna switch to pants cam for a second because I want to show you something. It's not. Listen, it's freezing in my house. I promise you, I have pants on. I just want to show you what I do with my feet in my chair. Okay. Yeah, I'll explain why the pants cam is so boring today. See, I have a footstool that's connected to my chair, and it folds in.
Footstool's connected to the
foot chair. But yeah, pants cam, you're totally gonna get pants today because I'm not in the Christmas spirit. I'm just freezing because my heater done broke.
Yeah,
I have to pay my bill. Okay, so like our heat went out and it started getting colder, and I have been such a poor person all my life. My first thought wasn't something broke.
Me too.
My first thought was I forgot to pay my bill. Like I just didn't have the money to pay the bill and they turned it off. And I'm like, no, I pay my bill. Oh, I'm an adult now. I have a job.
I mean, to be honest, it wasn't until last year I revamped our budget that there were times where we were like, the gas is off. We need to pay the bill. Yeah.
Oh no, trust me. I've been there all my life, and then I finally get to where I'm not, and then something happens. And my first thought is,
but see, it's in your brain after 20 something years of like struggling to pay the bills. All of a sudden, you're like, I got money.
All right. So last week we had a challenge.
I did not do it.
I tried. I really tried. I really tried to make internet.
So we both failed. We both failed. And we both have to do the TENS unit.
Yes. So next week we will be wired up and we will be defusing bombs. And for every time you fail a bomb, we both go up a level. Mine's in a box down there. I don't want to move to get it. Today's episode
Mine's tiny.
HGTV
Mine's like little.
Record. Mine's long. But mine
that's what she said.
Yeah. That's what he said. But he was always lying.
Always.
But mine's like...
The fish was this big!
Mine is old. So next week I will...
That's what she said.
I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to wire them to my face because I have to read you the instructions. So every time you fell a bomb, we have to go up a level. And I will get shockies to my face. And you will get shockies to your arms. And we will both hate each other Tuesday. Let me tell you the adventures of meeting internet friends. There's a lot of Indian people out there who wanted to show me a penis and did not understand that I was a dude. Because a lot of them asked me to see my vagine. And I'm not picking on Indian dudes. I'm really not. That's just where they were all from. Like, I don't know if my apps just relocated and it was like a call center of chats. And they'd all been outsourced to India.
I don't know. Sean's company sent him to India twice. So maybe we should ask him. Like, hey, Sean. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, Sean, are you on chat apps? Do you want to see people's vagines? Even if they're dudes?
Oh, all your Indian friends. What's going on there?
What's going on? Why do they want to see my man vagine? So yeah, my internet friend search did not pan out. I really, really tried.
I had too much shit to do.
I did not. I have no life. I have 0 friends. I tried to make new friends. It did not go well for me.
See, I broke the charts. You made friends with me, and then
you have ruined me for friends because you are the ultimate friend.
For everyone. I know.
You're the ultimate friend. So the universe said, no more friends for you.
Not the first man who I've broken before.
But today we're calling in sick.
I did call in sick today.
You
I gotta
did.
call in sick tomorrow.
Do you want to explain to everybody why you called in sick? I tell you,
Okay.
you do that. I'll be right back. I got to go change the battery in my vape. Apparently, it decided to call in sick too.
Oh. He always abandons me, and I'm left to host this podcast by myself, apparently. So to all of you viewers out there, I started not feeling well on Saturday. Actually, I started getting a headache on Friday, but I work for the school system, so I figured it was just a normal Friday for me. And then started feeling cruddy on Saturday and a little worse on Sunday. Like I had actually considered getting a corona test on Sunday, but nobody's open. So I called in sick today and I went and got a test, which is literally right in my neighborhood. The hospital is like right down the street.
I know. So you sent me that picture and I was like
I usually walk there. Like the gym that I used to be a member of is right there. I used to walk to the gym all the time. So I got the corona test and they have micro cleaned the frontal lobe of my brain. That was the worst experience. So I can't go back to work until I get the results of my test.
Which let's hope it's negative.
Let's hoping it's a sinus infection. I have never prayed for a sinus infection so much in my life, but
I've had that test and boy, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, it hurts. My eyes were watering. I was like, crying. I was like, "Ooh!" That's what I did. I literally went after you was done. I was like, "Ooh!"
We'll literally be talking about Moosh Smooshing, which, by the way, I have been doing everywhere I go. I was sitting at my desk the other day. I was just sitting at my desk by myself going, moosh. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Where have I gone with my life?
How long do we have? We have an hour? Do we need to start?
And so we're going to talk about our favorite call-in. I had no heat. I voluntarily went to work. In fact, had work been canceled, I probably still showed up. Because it's so cold. And I'm just like, no, heat has warmth.
I used to work for the school system, and I used to be in charge of substitutes. I was a substitute coordinator, and so I would handle, all the subs and the teachers calling out. My job was part of my job was to compile. They would fill out their absence forms, and my job was to compile it every day and give it to my counterpart, and she would do her job in the school system for pay, day off, whatever. I have seen and heard some of the most interesting excuses to call in sick to work. My favorite thus far, I had just gotten to Texas and I got this form and I read the reason why you were going to be absent. No, shouldn't you not? It goes, goats are sick, need to visit goat breeder before the goats die.
I think my mom has canceled a visit with me because of that exact reason.
I went, what? What? Because we have a huge ag department, like legitimate, like they do all of, and like have to go meet with the heifers, like gotta go take care of heifers or something. And I was like, only in Texas where that is a legitimate like school business excuse, not a personal day, not a sick day. Like that is a school business. Like we're going to go visit the goat breeder and got to go see about some heifers.
Most recently, I called into work because I had rhabdo.
I remember that.
Yeah. So we did a podcast. I mean, we did a 24-hour live stream where I spent 24 hours sitting in one spot, electroding my muscles in places you shouldn't electrode. That's not true.
You got up to use the restroom and you did push-ups.
And I did push-ups. But for the most part, I stayed pretty stationary for 24 hours, putting all kinds of horrible shit into my body, mainly caffeine, just streamlining caffeine like it was cocaine, and then snorting cocaine off my dick like it was soda.
Can you bend that way?
When you're as tired as I was, yes, you can. You're just like,
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay.
So I took the next day off and I slept. And then probably about 8 o'clock that night, I woke up and I was feeling real sore. And I was like, well, of course I'm sore. I overslept, went to bed. And then I woke up Friday because this was okay. So it was Tuesday to Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took Thursday off to sleep. Friday, I had to call out because I was dying. I felt horrible. Like I thought I had COVID. I was like breaking out in sweats. I was just like, oh, everything in my body is dying. Called my doctor, explained to him what I did, and what I did, and she threatened me. She said, if you ever do that again, I won't be your doctor no more. You have rhabdo, you idiot. Rhabdo is the buildup of lactic acid in your body.
Uh-huh.
And apparently sitting still for 24 hours is not healthy. And hooking electrodes to your body is not healthy. And streamlining cocaine and caffeine, not healthy. I've also called out with penis rash. Yeah. Fun story. I was dating a girl. This is like in my 20s, young 20s. And we were in the early stages of dating.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very much like, we're not going to do it until we're ready, which I'm fine with, it's cool.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman. And I'm like, I don't care. We'll do it eventually. If or not, we'll make out a lot until then. So we made out a lot. And there was a lot of, what's the polite way of saying dry humping?
Dry humping.
We were dry humping a lot. And I was going through this phase of new underwear. This is back when I switched to from boxers to boxer briefs. So you all know. And so we're dry humping. We're, like you do when you're in a relationship, you just bumping and grinding and grinding and bumping and grinding and everything's ready.
Okay.
Yeah,
again, okay. Dinks with Kinks on Saturday.
Anyway, I wake up and not thinking about it, but I just like, ow. So I go in the bathroom and then I just start freaking out. I had this like weird rash on my wee, on my peen. And I was just like, oh, I've got dick rot. So I'm panicking. I'm like real panicking. And so I called my doctor and I was like, doctor, I've got dick rot. And he's like, you don't have dick rot. And I was like, no, doctor, I've got dick rot. So I had to call into work and be like, I can't come in. And I was friends with my boss because I like to make friends with people I work with.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, why can't you come in? I was like, dude, don't tell anyone, but I got dick rot. My penis is falling off. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, you're good. You're covered, dude. No one would lie about that. And I'm like, dude, I'll send you pictures. Below the belt injury that I had to call in sick for.
Why are you calling in sick for all of these, like, groin? Why?
This wasn't groin. This is much worse.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
So as a teenager, I was in that definite generation of jackass.
Oh, yes.
Hey, guys, hold my beer. Watch this.
Yes.
And I would do anything to impress a girl.
You still do anything to impress a girl.
Shut up. You're right. You're right. Anyway. I wouldn't do much dumber things to impress a lady.
I am just preaching the truth, and you're going to sit here and just tell me to shut up. You know what?
You're right.
I just realized, you know what? We matched.
We do.
That's fine. All right, go ahead. Sorry. You're off in trying to impress your lady friends.
there was this girl, and God forbid, I wish I hadn't been trying to impress her because she eventually ended up being my ex-wife. But this is back when she wasn't, and I was like, "Oh yeah, well watch this." And so we were doing all these like backyard stunts, and of course one upping each other here and there, here and there. And I had these little
I can see you
firecrackers.
doing that.
Yeah, I had these little firecrackers. I had a little round base, and it was a stick like that, and it shot out sparklers. So I was going to do this trick where someone pulled my finger and I shot sparks out my ass. Sounds brilliant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Drunk John goes, I can do this. Pull my finger, they'll light the fuse, and it'll just shoot some sparks out of my ass, and we'll move along with our day. Wind is the greatest enemy to any fireworks stunt.
Really? I would have never guessed.
So, do you know what it's like to have third-degree burns on your butt cheeks?
Can't say that I have. Can't. Really.
Did not call out of work.
What? That would be like the one time you would call in to work.
Hold on. I'm getting there.
Aww.
2 this size burns on my butt cheeks. And so I have bandages on them. And I'm just taking care of them myself. Not calling into work because I honestly only call out work if I'm panicking or I'm going to infect somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's a good story, I can tell at work. That's just going to be a good day for me. So okay. I'm not sitting for a couple days. And one day I wake up and I can't breathe. And I have a really high fever.
Do you get infected?
Well, you try cleaning wounds that you constantly poop on. So I got a blood infection that nearly killed me.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
Oh, no, it's funny.
I usually am one of those type of people that tries to not call in sick.
I am that too.
I just don't. I did, however, last year, I had 2 stints where I had some really bad abdominal issues, some GI issues, and I was bedridden for a week. And then we got the Rona. It was literally 2 weeks before Rona, before they go. I was out for an entire week. I came back to work for a week. Was out for another half a week for our music convention. And then spring break and then Rona. I didn't go to work the last month of.
Another GI problem. It's something to do with my butt. I went to work. Diverticulitis is one of those things where it will kill you like that and send you in the worst pain ever. I was at work and I'm just sweating bullets and I'm still at work.
I'm sorry. I know I keep messing with my hair, but it's like I have a headache and then I'm trying to not have my hair in my face. So listen, go ahead.
You're on sick. I can't believe you volunteered to listen to this shit while you're sick. That's why you're
I've
getting
been by
stories.
myself all day, and I didn't here's the thing: I am in a room by myself. How more quarantined can I get right now?
That's true.
And if I test positive, that's where I'm sleeping.
You should stream the entire time, just every minute of the day, the whole sickness. That's what I do. If I had to quarantine myself off, I'd block off the curtains, put me a cot right here, and I would just stream and then turn the pants cam on so you could watch me sleep and just stream 24/7 the entire time.
Then I might as well start an OnlyFans and then make some money.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
You got way too excited about that. No, there's no sexual content. Just me sleeping with Verona.
Listen, sleeping's a fetish. Things with kinks, Saturdays.
I wouldn't, honestly, if this was we weren't in the middle of freaking pandemic, I probably would have gone to work today. Because I'm that type of person. I'm feeling like garbage. I'm feeling disgusting. I'm still here at work. Like a little, then you become a little troll. You're like, because like you can't, like, don't talk to me. The fluorescent lights. You're like,
I have a sign to hang on my desk. Potentially contagious. Stay away. Because I would rather be at home. I mean, I'd rather be at work when I'm miserable than at home and being miserable, because I feel like you shouldn't mix miserable with home. If I'm gonna be at home, I want to be comfy. And you don't sleep any better than you do when you come home after, dying at work. I slept like a rock. But so I remember one time I had the flu, and it was one of those days where it was a weekend. It was me and two other people. So I had my entire department to myself. I was just there.
mm-hmm.
So I'm there and I hung up the sign, and I'm sitting there like I am now, except it was summertime. I go out to my
So
car.
technically you had a version of COVID.
Oh yeah. But I came to work anyway because I was like, no one else is going to be there. They Lysol my desk anyway because it's me. And who knows what's living there. And I go to my car. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go take me a 15-minute break, go sit outside, turn the heat on in my car, and just... I woke up at the end of the shift when the assistant director came out there. He goes, John, are you okay? You never came back in. I'm like, what? What's happening? I just fell asleep in my car and just slept the entire rest of the day.
So do you remember, oh my God, it was 2009?
Bird flu.
Do you remember bird flu? It's fine. So we were actually talking before the stream about how I used to work for a drum corps, right? Get on a bus, be on a bus 2 weeks. You're all over the country. You and like 250 of your closest friends and loved ones are all squeezed together. That's when bird flu happened. And it was an outbreak because you're in such close quarters.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone was sick. Everyone was sick. And I was the only one that didn't get sick. I was like one of 3 people in the entire drum corps not sick. And they were like, we had kids in like quarantined in these. It was awful. I was like, so it's like, all right, well, everybody get a puke bucket, get on the bus. We gotta head to Florida. Like, sorry about your bad luck. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I didn't get it. I didn't. And it was one of those that you couldn't call in. Yeah, that was one of those times where it was just like, here's your puke bucket, here's some Gatorade.
We were writing a series, I think the Doctor Who series, and there was 6 of us. We were in pre-production. And it's crunch time because we're filming in 2 weeks. So we got to get all the lines crossed, all the T's, all the shit. So we're in crunch time, and we catch the flu. And of course, we all caught the flu, just like, because we were staying there. So we all had to kind of quarantine together because I had like a 5-year-old at home. I didn't want to get sick. And this is when I was writing full time. So that was my job. And we had this little studio in this loft apartment with 2 bathrooms, thank God, comfy couches, and a bedroom. So we just had our significant others bring comfy clothes and tons of pillows and blankets. And we made pillow forts and blanket forts. And we just stayed up watching movies and eating junk food and puking and sneezing, just all together in this like quarantine huddle. And it was the most fun I've ever had being sick. It was just like, we're all sick and we're all miserable, but we're all together and we hate each other.
Do you find you're calling in? I don't know if you do. I know I end up, because just the nature of our jobs, but when your kids get sick, calling in and like, my kid's vomiting everywhere. Like, I don't know. I'm not lying. I'm really promise my kid's vomiting everywhere. Because like after a while, like especially if you have a sickly kid, Nora was a sickly kid for a little bit. And like, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Do you want to see my vomiting baby? Like here you go.
Yeah. I've had to do that so many times with my kids. Like they suck up more of my sick days than I ever will.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for COVID, like, thanks to COVID, I used to have like a month and a half of sick time. Because it just built up because I would just never call out. In fact, most of the time I would be sent home because I'm already working too much as is. Because I like my job. The job is fun. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I was teaching people how to play Among Us today. That's what I do for a living. Thanks to COVID and kids, I'm just like, I got to go because my kids need me. They're sick. My son, not so much, because if he's sick, he just stays home. He's already at home. He's doing homeschool. He's doing e-learning. He just calls me and goes, Dad, I'm not feeling good. And I usually know he's not faking because the only thing that kid's got to do is put on pants and open a laptop. So if he's not feeling good and he calls me, I'm like, okay, that kid's not sick. My daughter will not admit she's sick. But boy, when she gets sick, she's like me.
I was like, I wonder who she gets that from.
I remember one time she had the stomach bug and she was just like, I can go to school. I'm like, no, you're sick. I'm not sick. And just trying to hold it back. I'm like, I'm not sick. I can go to school. I'm just like, stop. Kid, just, okay. No, Dad, I'm not sick. And I just...
do you get the man cold? Are you a guy that gets the man cold?
To a degree.
Be honest.
When I catch the flu, like when I'm a man cold, I'm a big whiny bitch, but I still show up for work. I would just be cranky. I'm just like, I'm sick. But I legitimately had like the flu, like 103 fever, and I got up and I was putting my pants on, and I got up there and then I sat on my bed to put them on there, and then I guess I reached down to get my shoe or something like that, and I just fell asleep on the floor. And she's like, I called your work, told him you weren't coming because I've never seen you fall asleep on the floor before. And I was like, he must be sick. When I get the flu, it cripples me. That and strep throat.
Knock on wood, I don't get strep throat very often.
Strep throat will hospitalize me and they won't take my fucking tonsils no matter how much I beg them. I'm just like, why?
I've had pneumonia. Which is why it worried me a little bit about the first strain of COVID, because I had pneumonia 9 times before I was 12.
Damn.
9. I remember very distinctly my mom, because being the nurse that she was, never took me to the doctor. And this is actually one of the few times she actually took me to the hospital because I couldn't breathe. And it was the scariest thing as like a 9-year-old. You're just laying there and you're like, you can't get any air. So I was always worried about that. But
I would let
women don't do that. They just get up, they're sick as shit, and they're like, we're gonna clean the house. Well, Chris is my husband. He gets sick very rarely. You know, those are the people that are the worst when they're sick, the ones that don't get sick very often. And so when he is sick, even with the like slightest cold, he's all like the plague. I'm going, you have a stomach virus, you're fine. Just take some Imodium. Sean, I love you. So he went to India. I told you his company sends him to India to do these trainings. So he was like, we were just chatting and he's like, I don't feel good. And me being me, go to a doctor. Being the manly man that he is, no, I'm fine. It's just jet lag. It's just allergies. My God, go to the doctor.
Did he have the Mutamba virus?
I don't know what. No. I don't remember what exactly it was, but he was like, he was sending me pictures of like his day because he would have some free time, and he looked gray. And I was like, sweet pea, go to the freaking doctor. No, it's international. I don't know if my insurance covers here. I'm like, I don't care. Just get some medicine. Get something. Nah, I'm fine. Nah. passed out in the middle. He was with one of his Indian friends, and like they were doing the touristy thing. Passed out in the middle of the street. Boy passed out in the middle of the street. Had to get him to like his hotel room. Finally, I was like, "You gonna see that doctor now?" Okay, before we go, when you do stay homesick, what is your, like, everybody has that routine, that sick routine. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Like the comfort routine. Because I know I have mine.
What is yours?
I have, I'm really sick because I have this purple Eeyore fleece that I have. And actually my mom bought it for me, and when I first got it, I hated it, but for some reason it became my comfort fleece, and I put that on, and I get apple cider. I don't know why. I heat up apple cider and I drink it, and I sit and I watch bad romantic comedies, and that's what I do.
I would always want some candy. And to this day, when I'm sick, I will go out and buy myself a bag of gummy bears or gummy worms. You can always tell I'm not feeling good if I come home with gummy worms. Like, my wife will be like, "You're not feeling good, are you?" And I'm like, "How do you know?" You're like, "You're holding a bag of gummy worms." I'm like, "You're right. I don't feel good." Because I won't even think about doing it. I will just crave gummy worms. That's how I know I'm getting sick. I'm like, I need gummy worms. I'm getting sick. Also, I like to watch not classic movies, but like my classic movie, like Crocodile Dundee.
Well, technically they're classic movies if they're over 20 years.
Yeah, so yeah, like I'll watch, like I'll put on some like garbage like Crocodile Dundee, which Paul Hogan, yes, good day, or something like that, and just curl up in a ball and wish for death.
I had, so yours to get Concred. I had it one year. I want to say 3 years ago. 2 years ago. I was like deathly ill, had no voice, nothing. Like I was so sick, but I had to get up and work, and I had to smile and put on my face. And it was like one of those, it wasn't like a comic convention. It was like, I actually had to look like a decent human being and greet people, and it was awful. It was the worst. Andrew was there. Fearful me knows. He was there. I was like, I'm dying. He's like, "You okay?" No. That's what we need to end on.
And good night.